Hi everybody, Adam here. Welcome back to our Lego room. In today's video, really excited to show you guys a new model that we're finishing up that will be used in the layout here in the Lego room, and that we'll also be taking out to the train show that we're displaying at this upcoming weekend. This is the water tower, a design by Jepaz that we purchased on Rebrickable. Really big fan of Jepaz's designs. We have a number of their instruction sets. We've got some of their builds already built and integrated around the layout, and many more in the queue. And this is definitely an awesome structure that I think is going to look awesome here around the Lego room. Big fan of water towers in general, and I think this is a really cool design and take on a water tower. Big fan of the wood support structure underneath. I think that adds a lot to the overall build and is a cool base for the overall structure. And it was really cool to see how the circular part of the water tower at the top here and how the roof itself all came together. That is one of the interesting parts of building other people's designs on Rebrickable or other places that you can purchase instructions. Definitely lots of opportunities to learn, and it was really cool to see how they went about creating the internal support structure and, sort of achieving the final shape of the water tower. Now, it's worth noting this particular model required roughly 3,800 pieces. It's quite a big and involved model, but the parts were easy to purchase, via the parts list I got when purchasing the instructions. It was easy to get everything on Bricklink. Couple things to note. I have a couple things that are left to finish on here. I have not finished the spout part that comes out the front here, and then there's some support structure above that to support that water spout. I've got a lot of builds on the go at the moment, and I know I have the parts, but they are kind of commingled at the moment with a lot of parts for other builds. So we'll dig them out soon. We'll find them as we're moving through things here. But I do want to be careful with the water spout part of the water tower. The model here assumes there's going to be track out in front. And it's nice, Jepaz in their instructions, they always include the track components in there so you can see how to build that and set it up. They also include a lot of landscaping details, which we'll talk more about in a few minutes. But with the track moving out in front here, I don't want the water spout to impede the trains that are moving back and forth on that track. I have a feeling that most trains will probably be okay, but some of our larger trains could definitely end up bumping into the spout once it's out over the track there. So we'll do some tests. We'll see how it works, how things look. I might end up sort of going with a modified spout for the front that shortens it up and keeps it closer to the sort of overall structure here rather than out over the track. But that's something that we will get sorted out in the coming weeks, likely. Other things to note here, there's a support building that goes with the water tower that has a roof. Currently, right now, I haven't built that. That'll be getting done soon. It's kind of nice because it lets you see inside, so you can see the details there. There's some water tanks and pipes going on inside, I assume for piping water over into the water tower here to keep that running. Really cool. I think it adds a lot to the little scene here. And, overall, a really nice 2 mils plate module. Like I said, we'll put track out in front of this. I expect it will be siding track. I don't think we'll have this on a main line, but Really excited to get this integrated, and I think it should look really cool. Taking a closer look and looking at some of the different angles of the water tower. Like I said, was really cool to go through and build this and see how they went about tackling the various problems of the roof and the shape of the top of the water tower here. Definitely some finicky sort of parts when building this. The roof was a little challenging, but happy with how it looks now. I think it rests really nice out over the edge there. A really, really cool shape, and a really nice way to top the structure off. I think this is a lot of components of this that are very eye-catching. There's a few little odds and ends with some of the spacing here that I might go back and try to fix up a little bit afterwards, but a really, really nice shape to that overall sort of top part of the water tank. Love all the understructure here, the nice ladder that's going down the back there for maintenance access. But, really overall, an awesome looking build. And this will be our second water tower, definitely the largest water tower in the layout and in the collection. But I think that's nice. There's different sizes and types of water towers that were used historically. So I like having, the two different sizes and types here on display in the layout. So, overall, really happy with this structure. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the instructions come with a lot of details on various landscaping elements that you can put around the base of the water tower, over around that support building on the side. I've left it blank at the moment. I'm going to put some of my own trees in, and once we get this back from the show and sort of fully integrated into the layout, we'll probably look at some additional other types of vegetation to add here. But keeping it simple for transport at the moment so that we don't have a lot of parts falling off of the overall build. But that is a really nice thing about Jepaz's instruction sets. Lots of cool trees and various foliage that he shows you how to make there. So overall, a cool looking module that I think is going to be a great addition. Like I said, it's roughly 3,800 to 3,900 parts, so quite a few components that go into the overall structure, but I think they're all used for great effect. And like I mentioned before, big fan of having the support buildings around structures like this. I think it adds a lot to the overall scene, and nice to have the different sizes and shapes of buildings around these different modules. So super happy with this. Definitely some components to still add and figure out here as we get the front part finished off and the roof over there. But a great addition to the layout, a fun build, and definitely something that helped me learn some different techniques that I will probably use in upcoming builds. So super happy with this. Like I said, I'll include a link below to the page on Rebrickable, so you can look at this particular model yourself if you're interested in buying the instructions from there. Or you can just check out some of Jepaz's other amazing models. They are quite prolific in all the various buildings and train models they have instruction sets for on Rebrickable, and I'm a big fan of the work they do. So really glad to have this built and looking forward to building more of their awesome models in the future. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.